Hey there, everybody, it's Lennon the Black Mage Punk, and welcome to the first episode of my new show. What this is going to be is I'm just going to read random fanfics that I find across the internet. And so, to start off, I figured why not do a fanfic from my favorite video game series, Final Fantasy, hence my namesake. This one comes from Final Fantasy VII in specific. So, without further ado, let's get right into Just Help Yourself, I Give It All to You by Lovely Precedent. Tifa, be careful! I can't let Barrett's chilling yell distract me despite the searing pain in my face. I summon all my strength left to roundhouse kick the slimy Malboro monster over the rocky precipice. I grin victoriously as its thoroughly bashed body disappears over the edge. Almost the perfect kill had it not bitten me. I pull the embedded tooth out of my cheek. Ugh! Metallic-tasting liquid pools up in my mouth. I swallow it. I need to remain strong. The monster had attacked Cloud first, and my heart wants to make sure he is okay. I heard him cry out, so something could have happened. I turn around to assess him, but a flurry of silky pinks steals the scene as she runs over and throws her arms around him. He must look as shocked as me, but he most certainly looked more delighted too. Oh my god, Cloud, I am so glad you're alright. Forgive me for springing on you like this, but I am just so happy, she exclaims elatedly without any inhibition. That's Aerith for you. I gulp and walk over to a log. A dull throbbing ache now accompanies the hot pain in my cheek, but not enough to distract that sickening feeling stirring in my gut. Cloud's body gestures are hesitant, but he eventually returns her embrace, sliding his coarse and calloused hands that I actually love the feel of onto the back of her waist. I can only watch with an unwanted sense of resentment. I am hurting, and it kind of stings that no one cares. I guess it's my stupid fault for always denying help and wanting to be resilient. But I have to be, goddammit. Sitting around like a princess waiting for a shining knight is just that, a sweet fantasy, and that didn't get me out of a post-catastrophic rut when my hometown burnt down and everyone I knew disappeared. I feel so dirty and unfeminine in my monster blood-splattered singlet, and while the flower girl is totally unscathed and pure-looking in her long gown. No wonder so many men adore and protect her. I would love to be as carefree, lighthearted, and so vivacious as her, but that's a lot harder when I have to rush into the forefront of battle and adopt a fighter's mentality. It hardens you. Plus, even if I wasn't a fighter, being so bubbly and endearingly outgoing just isn't me. She's a social butterfly who wears her heart on her sleeves, and no one misses her compassionate intentions. Cloud wouldn't even know that I care about his well-being too. My shyness may just as well be coldness to him. I have to admit, a smug part of me felt like Aerith wouldn't be in danger of coming in between Cloud and I. The Cloud I grew up with is quiet, shy, and didn't respond that positively to bold girls when he was young. Perhaps I was wrong. This older woman inspires me, encourages me, and totally outshines me. There's something about her that I can't put my finger on. Perhaps it's because she is half Cetra, and empowered in a strange way. But it's like she's a master of the universe in a sort of goddess-like manner. She is bold and determined and decides what her own outcome will be, whereas I can't feel that self-assured. Even when I try to seize good things, usually something bad happens anyway. With her beauty and confidence, she can march up to Cloud Strife, a man she barely knows, and bring him into her life precisely the way she wants it. I sigh and sit down on the splintered log. Goosebumps spread across my arms. What a cold breeze. I give up. She is so different from me, and I can't compete against that. I don't want to. How Cloud feels is not in my hands anyway. If anything, it seems to be in hers. Because while Aerith strides in and confidently claims her destiny, I feel like I am stuck riding the currents of fate, merciless and unpredictable in the course it takes. Now from the other side. Giddy, thrilled, and like you are floating on a cloud, that is how it feels to captivate the likes of Cloud Strife and have his gorgeous multicolored eyes gazing straight into your being while holding you in a strong embrace. His arms hold me firmly. He is so strong and I want to melt into this moment. No wonder so many girls are so addicted to being in love with him. Well, who is he enamored by? His head jerks to the side and I all about choke on his spikes. At that moment, a giggle escaped itself from me. How endearing that the distance between us was so small that I could taste his hair. Excuse me, he mumbles. Those strong arms release me and I feel cold and exposed all over again. What could have amounted to a very romantic moment ends in some sort of ironic limbo as he walks towards the object of his distraction, Tifa. I watch as Cloud marches so purposefully to where she is sitting and sits down opposite her. He starts talking, and I can't help thinking, how typical. I can tell by his solemn expression that he is very concerned for her. though it's too far to decipher what exactly he is saying. It's easy enough for any attuned girl to see and hear how the words are being delivered, and that's all I need to know. His voice is laced with tenderness, and his eyes have gone all blue for her. She flirts in her own coy way, of course, even if she isn't aware of it, and especially likes to deny it. All girls have their methods to enchant a man, and hers is a different sort to mine. Shining ruby eyes receive his words with adoration. Her body gestures become soft and graceful, completely opposite to the hard warrior stances she displayed before. He gently soothes her swollen cheek with ointment from his pocket. She leans into his curled hand, blushing and looking down. Then looks up again with a shy smile. Cloud looks like putty under her spell. That's Tifa for you. I have to admit that a cattier part of me felt triumphant when she blurted that she and Cloud were only friends. Seeing that she had a shyer disposition and a more passive attitude, it seemed unlikely that she would pose a threat. It's expected that wallflowers quietly disappear into the background, not to sound mean, that's just the way it usually happens. Evidence clearly kicked me in the backside, and perhaps that serves me right for having that sort of pride. While she is not forward, she is magnetic. I notice that men are irresistibly drawn to her, and funny that because she doesn't seem to even have to try. Strangers on the street, even a Turk, are captivated by her, and she is oblivious. She's a bit like the lilies I tend to, calm, quiet, but utterly resplendent in their own modest way, and the bees are all over them. If that's the scene, then I am like the flamboyant butterfly that flails into the picture, its movements distracting people's eyes from the immobile flower. I could just be a distraction, because one thing I've noticed with Cloud Strife is that even though he is receptive to me, he never initiates the way he does with her. Tifa lifts her own gloved hand to the one cupping her face, lacing her fingers through his and squeezing his hand there. I bet you 50 gil she believes I wouldn't notice. An unpleasant feeling stirs within my chest. It's not jealousy per se that describes it, more like wistfulness, and a sense of, dare I say it, resentment? It's like things just seem to work out for Tifa, and it does kind of look like she doesn't even try. People compliment me a lot for my tendency to strive. Aerith, you are such a go-getter, they say. But they don't suspect or haven't taken the time to ask me why I act like that. I try because I have to. With the curveballs life has thrown me so far, sitting back and letting good things happen to me isn't an option. I prefer to take destiny with my hands rather than waiting anxiously to receive her crumbs. I tried to be receptive and soft once with a first love, and it didn't get me the results I wanted, though through no fault of our own. That doesn't mean this cruel and unpredictable entity called destiny won't screw me over anyway. Well, that's enough brooding for the night. Guys, I'm starting the campfire, I yell. Everyone else responds except those two. I sigh and gather some firewood. No matter what could happen between Cloud and I, it is time to spread my sails and carry on, like always. It does kind of suck. It feels like while I have to practically storm through the tides of life and demand fate to treat me kindly, it's like Tifa has nothing to worry about, because the stars were already perfectly aligned for her anyway. Alright, well, so that's that. It's actually really well written, I think, except for a couple little grammatical errors here and there and a couple little repeated words just ever so infrequently, but they are there. Aside from that, it's pretty solidly written. It's a nice little exploration into both the love triangle that goes on throughout the first disc of 7 between Cloud and then Tifa and Aerith, which, I mean, we all know is there, because that's part of what the game is about, or at least the first disc anyway, because bad things happen. But, yeah, I mean, it's pretty solidly written, and so what do you guys think? What would you rate it, and if you had to improve it, how would you do so? This has been the Black Mage Punk, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.